daily changes in the economy and the stock market. Phil Grandy and philsgang.com can be your guide to becoming a better investor. Try the free 10-day trial at philsgang.com for the working investor. From the opening bell to the closing, stay informed with what's happening in real time. The Working Investor program includes full access to the Phil's Gang website, a morning update on what to look for that day on Wall Street, a market wrap on that day's trading, plus seminars, training, and tools to help you become a better investor. Go to philsgang.com for a free 10-day trial. After that, it's just $59.95 a month for membership, daily updates, training, software, and the best investing advice every day. You can invest with the best. Phil Grandy and philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. philsgang.com. When you listen to the advice of Phil Grandy at philsgang.com, you'll find investing in the stock market makes sense with the right guidance.
People keep saying to me, boy, things are hard, things are tough. Boy, the market's really screwed up. And I don't agree with them. For us here at Phil's Gang, we make it so it's simple. It doesn't matter if the market's bad or good. We consistently do well because we make it simple. And just like for my listeners on the radio or on the internet or my podcast, we make it simple. We try to break it down so you really understand why the market is going up or why there's continued inflation or why the bank rates are going up. So you understand, especially yields. The most important thing to understand how yields work. Just what we do. We work hard at it.
Trusted advice, easy to understand strategies that will make you a better investor. Get all the details at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. You want to invest your money and grow your wealth. How do you invest intelligently? Become a Phil's Gang member and receive the training, advice, and software that will take your investing to the next level. Our team is comprised of successful investors, all with proven track records. Phil's Gang software is easy to use, painless to navigate, and tells you exactly when to buy and sell to help maximize profits. Learn about common market mistakes and how to minimize them. Phil's Gang has successfully taught tens of thousands of investors how to navigate the market with confidence. You don't need to be a seasoned investor to benefit from the Phil's Gang platform, no matter what level of investor you are. Phil's Gang strategies for investing are designed to put you on the path to success. Sign up for a 10-day free trial to see our platform in action, avoid market pitfalls, and start winning with Phil's Gang. Learn more at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Why are investors listening to Phil Grandy of philsgang.com?
You know why people listen to my show? Because I make it simple. When you talk about the stock market, they make it so complicated. I make it easy to understand. For the average investor, the Main Street investor, most of the time, these guys, it's like they're talking to each other. We talk directly to you and we listen to you.
Invest better with the sound advice of Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. Short on time but want to invest in the stock market? Let philsgang.com help you. For only $39.95 a month, you get complete access to all of Phil's powerful investing programs, videos, and resources.
That works for me. Log in, watch the videos, and make profits.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. philsgang.com.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. I've been doing this business of trading over 55 years. God, they make it so complicated. It doesn't have to be. The best way to learn is to follow me, my actual investments. That's right. When I buy a stock, you follow me. Do exactly what I do. That's the best way to learn.
Check out the free 10-day trial. Learn more at philsgang.com.
Be my co-pilot at philsgang.com. Do what I do.
That's philsgang.com.
I believe that every single human being with a laptop computer and an internet connection should be required to give trading at least a shot.
Following Phil, his charting system has really been a huge impact on my career and my life.
I believe that every educated individual on planet Earth.
I would recommend Phil's Gang to the mom and pop out there. I would recommend it to parents teaching their children. I would recommend it to grandparents.
Should do this. It's not for every single human being on earth. I know this, but it's one of those things that you should try, because if you happen to get it right, if you happen to be one of the ones that this is for,
Follow the money. Follow Phil Grandy.
oh my God.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. That's right, philsgang.com. Join my gang for 10 days. It's free.
What's in front of you is a life of incredible joy, freedom, and independence.
Philsgang.com.
Want good investing advice from someone you can trust? Listen to Phil Grandy.
With what's going on today in the economy, especially the stock market, it gets really complicated, but it doesn't have to be. My job is to make it simple, to get through the fog. And I think I do that, and I think I do a pretty good job of that, especially why you should be buying a stock, or why you should be in the market, or not in the market, or shorting.
Invest wisely with the knowledge of Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. When the stock market is up one day and down the next, you need experienced advice from a pro.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. I know you're sitting there watching the stock market. You're going, what? Is this nuts? Market goes up 700 points. Next day it goes up 800 points. Then the market goes back down. Then it goes back up. What that is volatility.
You want to invest your money and grow your wealth. How do you invest intelligently?
But you got to anticipate what's going to happen with the market. And that's what we give you. Information so you can anticipate in advance what the market's going to do, so you know what stocks to buy, you know what stocks to short. It's all about having good information and anticipation. You got to anticipate. The one thing you can't do is rely on your brokers. Listen.
Our responsibility begins and ends with our partners and our shareholders, and that's it.
What are you, nuts? Partners or shareholders? You're not included.
Check out the free 10-day trial and follow Phil to investing success. Learn more at philsgang.com. philsgang.com. The stocks discussed on Phil's Gang are not in any way a recommendation or solicitation to buy, sell, or hold. If considering acting on information presented, we first recommend you seek out a competent, licensed professional for advice. Get ready for the radio show that tells you what Wall Street doesn't want you to know.
Oh, I'm a money magnet. Money's coming to me. Money sets me free. I'm a money magnet. Money's coming to me.
It's your daily dose of how to manage your money. And now it's time for Phil's Gang on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. With your host, Phil Grandy.
So the U.S. economy is actually doing quite well.
This economy is strong. This economy looks good. Look at the labor market. Look at where GDP is estimated. Look at ISM manufacturing bottoming, clearly coming out of the recession it's been in. And there's a lot to be bullish.
It's amazing how they try to talk the market up. And it's going to be interesting Friday when they come out with the banks. The banks are in deep trouble, as I've been telling you all week. They're in deep trouble. 180 banks have lost over $650 billion value of their portfolios. So their portfolios are down $650. It means they're broke. They're broke. And they're going to do everything they can on Friday to say that, oh, look at this. The banks are doing good. We're beating estimates. And every time I hear that, I get so grumpy. Beating estimates. Understand when they say they're going to beat estimates, what that means. They're beating their own estimates. I built a company. I brought it public. I know exactly what they do. You hand feed to the analyst who oversees your business, your company, to report to Wall Street. You hand feed them the earnings very, very low. So when you come out, there's a big upward surprise. So the stock market, the stock price goes up. I mean, it's just a game. But if things are so good, like I said the other day, then why is it that we have to prop up the banks with a special program, the same program they had in 2008? And that program in 2008 failed, and why would we be so lucky to think this program's not going to fail, propping up the banks? If things are so good, then why is it that 40% of Americans say they are much worse off than a year ago? Why wouldn't they be? What are you, nuts? Biden put us into a 40-year inflation, high inflation. Inflation is a cruel tax. Just like tax on your labor is cruel. No one should ever tax us on our labor. They should stop that today. It's a cruel tax. So much so, a person has to work 108 days of the year before you start getting paid. The first 108 days, you're working for Uncle Sam and for the state and for the county, all the taxes you have to pay. It's a cruel tax. Inflation is also a cruel tax. Very cruel. Let's take an example, homes. Home prices, as you know, has gone, they just escalated. They went nuts, starting with the pandemic. Everybody wanted to move out of the city and run to the country, and there was few homes, and my God, home prices went up nuts. Because mortgages were at 2.8%, 3%. But let's put that in perspective for housing. What does that mean? Well, let's say you're going to go buy a home. And the person you're buying a home from, his interest payments are locked in at 3%. But you have to pay 7.8%. Now, in order for you to have the same monthly payment as the person with the 3%, you have to purchase that house for 40% less. For 40% less. This is how crazy inflation has gotten under Biden. You got to purchase that house for 40% less to have the same payments that a guy has at 3% that you're going to have to pay 7.8%. What are you, nuts? Household incomes not keeping up with inflation. Unbelievable. Under Biden, household incomes are well below its 12-month average of 3.5%. Credit card debt this year has hit already $1 trillion, a record. And they're trying to tell us how good things are with the economy? This doesn't sound very good to me. Credit card debt, $1 trillion. And it's going to add, on top of that trillion, by the end of this year, 2023, they're going to add another $150 billion. That's the run rate. That's the run rate right now. We're going to add to the $1 trillion another $150 billion in credit card debt. What are you, nuts? Credit card delinquencies are exploding. They're surging, up 15%. Now, remember, people have been using credit cards as a lifeline. As a lifeline. So how can you say the economy is doing well when people are using credit cards as a lifeline? At the end of the month, when they pay their bills, if they didn't have a credit card, they'd have to go to the poorhouse. They'd have to go to the food bank. The credit card keeps them out of the poorhouse. Unbelievable. It's a lifeline. 68% of people with a credit card, at the end of the month, you pay your credit card off, zero balance. 68.2%, almost 70% of people don't pay their credit card. They just move it from one month to the next. They just pay the interest on it. And what we're saying now? What are they telling us?
So the U.S. economy is actually doing quite well.
Yeah, that's quite well, I guess. His sense of well is really weird, isn't it? TransUnion, they report an historic 20-year high on credit card delinquencies.
So the U.S. economy is actually doing quite well.
Yeah, quite well. How about Equifax? They report a 15-year high, or a 31% increase in auto delinquencies, a record for them.
So the U.S. economy is actually doing quite well.
Quite well. Savings have declined from 32% during the pandemic to the 10-year average of 8%, and then it dropped from the 10-year average of 8% to 2.8%. So let's say 3%. What are you, nuts? Bankruptcy so far for 2023, personal bankruptcies up 68%, small business bankruptcy 111%, commercial bankruptcies, and we just started with that, up 80%. And people are withdrawing their money. We have record hardship 401k withdrawals. But what are they telling us?
So the U.S. economy is actually doing quite well.
This economy is strong. This economy looks good. Look at the labor market.
Boy, it looks good. It looks good. What are you, nuts? This is amazing what they're telling us. And now we're going to go into earnings on Friday with banks. I can't wait to see how they rig the banks. One of their tricks will be they'll take from their set-aside for bad loans. Let's say a bank has lost $1 million. They have in set-aside for bad loans $2 million. They simply will take the $2 million, shift it to the bottom line. Now they made $1 million. It's a profit. And, oh, by the way, they beat their expectation. And let's say they lost money. They're going to convince you to buy anyways because they beat expectation. That's all we keep hearing, how every earnings season now it's beat expectation. Not earnings anymore, because earnings are at a 25-year low. Earnings are at a 25-year low. Earnings are down. Stocks going up. No more. We're coming to the end now. Banks are a disaster. And no one's telling you the truth about these banks. Nobody. More when I get back. Don't forget, sign up for our Saturday for our webinar.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
I believe that every single human being with a laptop computer and an internet connection should be required to give trading at least a shot.
Following Phil, his charting system has really been a huge impact on my career and my life.
I believe that every educated individual on planet Earth.
I would recommend Phil's Gang to the mom and pop out there. I would recommend it to parents teaching their children. I would recommend it to grandparents.
Should do this. It's not for every single human being on Earth. I know this, but it's one of those things that you should try, because if you happen to get it right, if you happen to be one of the ones that this is for,
Follow the money. Follow Phil Grandy.
oh my God.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. That's right, philsgang.com. Join my gang for 10 days. It's free.
What's in front of you is a life of incredible joy, freedom, and independence.
When the stock market is up one day and down the next, you need experienced advice from a pro.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. I know you're sitting there watching the stock market. You're going, what? Is this nuts? Market goes up 700 points. Next day it goes up 800 points. Then the market goes back down. Then it goes back up. What that is volatility.
You want to invest your money and grow your wealth. How do you invest intelligently?
But you got to anticipate what's going to happen with the market. And that's what we give you. Information so you can anticipate in advance what the market's going to do, so you know what stocks to buy, you know what stocks to short. It's all about having good information and anticipation. You got to anticipate. The one thing you can't do is rely on your brokers. Listen.
Our responsibility begins and ends with our partners and our shareholders, and that's it.
What are you, nuts? Partners and shareholders? You're not included.
Check out the free 10-day trial and follow Phil to investing success. Learn more at philsgang.com. philsgang.com. There's a lot of noise out there in the financial world. Bank failures, interest rates, bonds versus stocks. It's a lot. That's why it's important to find a voice of reason that can guide you through these volatile times. Phil Grandy and philsgang.com is where you can find honest, helpful guidance to successful investing.
Get the knowledge and understand how the market really works.
And for a limited time, you can join Phil's Gang free for 10 days.
philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com.
When making wise investment decisions, Phil Grandy has some sound reasons you should join Phil's Gang.
You know, when I started this, they asked me, okay, can you explain to people why they should join the gang? Gee, I thought about that. And I guess to make money. But more than that, to get good direction on which way the economy's really going. We get so much crap, so many lies, how great the economy is and how great the tech business is, and when it's not. The problem is we have too many people in Washington and in this industry that just don't tell the truth. The truth is everything. And here at Phil's Gang, we stick with the facts. We tell the truth. We make sure our members, are getting the best information, and our listeners, like you. We make that information available to you and make it simple and understandable.
Good investing means understanding how the stock market works. Join today at philsgang.com. Why are investors listening to Phil Grandy of philsgang.com?
You know why people listen to my show? Because I make it simple. When you talk about the stock market, they make it so complicated. I make it easy to understand. For the average investor, the Main Street investor, most of the time, these guys, it's like they're talking to each other. We talk directly to you and we listen to you.
Invest better with the sound advice of Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. The feds have raised interest rates again, and AI is the topic of the day. No matter what the financial headlines are, be a successful investor with Phil's Gang at philsgang.com. Take advantage of the free 10-day trial for the Working Investor Program. Phil Grandy has put together the tools you need to understand the stock market, with full access to the Phil's Gang website and access to Phil's Pro 2 color-coded charting software. Know with confidence when to buy, sell, and short a stock. Members also have access to Coffee Talk. Every morning at 8:30 Eastern, Phil Grandy talks about what's happening on Wall Street that day. Want to be a better investor? Then take advantage of the free 10-day trial at philsgang.com. You'll find many more features and tools for the working investor. After the trial, it's just $59.95 a month for membership. Invest with the best. Phil's Gang at philsgang.com. Welcome back. Learn, invest, and make profits with Phil Grandy. Simply go to philsgang.com. Now, here's Phil.
It looks like manufacturing has actually bottomed. Inventories are low. They're going to have to be rebuilt. And prices paid are actually falling. So it's really a positive mix now, we think, in manufacturing.
Unbelievable. Prices paid are falling. Yet today, we get the wholesale number. In other words, what wholesalers are charging you, a grocery store will say, and the number came in hot. Just the opposite of what she's saying. It's just unbelievable how they lie.
This economy is not close to recession.
Not close to, we're in a recession. But remember what happened in July when we hit the recession. We had the two quarters back to back that were negative. Oh, the president says, no, we got to change. We got to change the definition. No, don't do that.
You know that more likely than not we're going to go into recession. There's some...
Okay, wait a minute. So this guy says...
This economy is not close to recession.
And then this guy...
You know that more likely than not we're going to go into recession.
I mean, so these guys are on TV every day. Fancy pants. They're all fancy pants with their suits. Fancy pants. All geniuses. They contradict each other. That's why when you come to Phil's Gang to get educated, you're going to rely on charting. It's real simple. But charts that we design, they're not cookie cutter. They're not generic. We took years to design our own chart, which is tied to the flow of money. What are the institutions doing? Are they buying stocks? Or are they selling stocks? It shows up on the chart. Now, you remember, you get this free for 10 days. For 10 days. And please, this Saturday, I think we only got 10 or 12 left. We're having a webinar for 85 people this Saturday. Now, if you can't make it on Saturday, it's okay, because it's archived for 2 weeks. And it's going to be a fantastic webinar. and the timing couldn't be perfect. There's going to be a lot of it on selling short, but we're also going to be talking about the bond market. Most people have no idea what the bond market is, and they get confused with the bond market. But once you understand the bond market, which is easy, and we'll do that this Saturday, that will help you make the right decision when to buy a stock or sell a stock short. But you've got to have that skill to sell a stock short. If you are coming into this battle, okay, when you walk into this battle, because that's what this is every day, you come to Wall Street, you're battling the biggest gangsters, the biggest crooks who are tied to Washington with inside information. They're all working against you and me. They're working against us. Members of Congress doing inside trading, working against us. The Senate Housing and Banking Committee, working against us. Their job is to look out for our interests. Boy, they did a hell of a job with that, didn't they? In 2020, we had that crash. 2018, we had that crash. And the crash we are in now. Yes, you heard me right. The crash we are in now, which they are masking. I've been in this business long enough that all I know, if a stock market goes up 600% on the S&P, and the NASDAQ goes up 1,200% from that March low of 2009 to January 2022, putting in an all-time high, and it collapsed immediately. Why? Because they were fighting inflation. Because remember, that whole rally was fake. That rally was printing money called QE to buy treasury. And that printing of money creates tremendous inflation. So when we went from 2009 to 2022, it collapsed because yields kept going up because of inflation. And where does inflation come from? Also comes from Biden spending more money, spending much more money than he takes in revenues. That's called deficits. So you have all that money printing to do QE, to artificially push the market up by buying treasuries to drive yields down. That's very inflationary. And then you're spending much more money than you're taking in. That's inflationary. So that's why the market dropped from January 2022 to October 2022. And then when they try to rally it, again, they put a pool together of $15 billion so that all the five biggest banks would buy Apple and Microsoft and NVIDIA, and I think there's one other stock, to rally the market up against the high rates. Because again, high rates and tech stocks don't mix. Tech stocks want low rates. So they were able to put a pool of money together and told the five banks that are controlled by the Federal Reserve, go and buy those stocks to push the market up. But bam, they went right into the what? Bank crash. SVB, First Republic, and Signature. $50 billion. They were losing $50 billion in value, their portfolio. They're losing money on every loan. But they lied. It wasn't just three banks. It was 180 banks on top of the three. And they weren't losing just $50 billion. Those 180 banks, their portfolio was being marked down by $650 billion. So what'd they do? Well, they had to run the market up, rig it to go back up. So they created something clever. They created the banking program, the BTFP program. So the banks would not fail. The banks, just like in 2008, would prop them up. And then with that banks being propped up, now that everybody jumped in by all the tech stocks, and we rallied up to July 2023. That was it. We could never make it to that high in 2022. and we failed 4 other times.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. If you want to invest your money and grow your wealth, listen to this.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. You know, I get so tired of listening to the same garbage every day, listening to the fake business news network telling you why you should buy this stock, why you should buy, and they're always wrong. Join my gang, philsgang.com, free for 10 days. You're going to learn when to buy a stock and when not to buy a stock. Hey, years ago, it was different. You could buy a stock based on fundamentals. You could buy a stock based on earnings. You could buy a stock based on PE ratios. Those days are gone. That ended with QE. That ended when they financially engineered the market in 2008. Gone. Now you got to follow the money. And we have the knowledge because we have the chart. Pro 2 color-coded chart tells you when to buy, when to sell, when to run like hell.
For a limited time, you can join Phil's Gang free for 10 days.
Check it out, philsgang.com. Get the truth, get the knowledge, and understand how the market really works.
When the stock market is up one day and down the next, you need experienced advice from a pro.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. I know you're sitting there watching the stock market. You're going, what? Is this nuts? Market goes up 700 points. Next day goes up 800 points. Then the market goes back down. Then it goes back up. What that is volatility.
You want to invest your money and grow your wealth. How do you invest intelligently?
But you got to anticipate what's going to happen with the market. And that's what we give you. Information so you can anticipate in advance what the market's going to do so you know what stocks to buy, you know what stocks to short. It's all about having good information and anticipation. You got to anticipate. The one thing you can't do is rely on your brokers. Listen.
Our responsibility begins and ends with our partners and our shareholders, and that's it.
What are you, nuts? Partners or shareholders? You're not included.
Check out the free 10-day trial and follow Phil to investing success. Learn more at philsgang.com. philsgang.com.
What are you, nuts? 85% of the people do not know how to get out of the market. They lose money because they don't know when to get out. I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. I solved that with my Pro 2 color-coded chart. It tells you when to get out. It tells you when to get in, tells you what to add, not to add. Specifically, when do I get out? It tells you that. Check it out. Go to my site, philsgang.com. Get your 10-day free trial of my Pro 2 color-coded chart and a membership.
You want to invest your money and grow your wealth. How do you invest intelligently? Become a Phil's Gang member and receive the training, advice, and software that will take your investing to the next level. Our team is comprised of successful investors, all with proven track records. Phil's Gang software is easy to use, painless to navigate, and tells you exactly when to buy and sell to help maximize profits. Learn about common market mistakes and how to minimize them. Phil's Gang has successfully taught tens of thousands of investors how to navigate the market with confidence. You don't need to be a seasoned investor to benefit from the Phil's Gang platform, no matter what level of investor you are. Phil's Gang strategies for investing are designed to put you on the path to success. Sign up for a 10-day free trial to see our platform in action, avoid market pitfalls, and start winning with Phil's Gang. Learn more at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Want good investing advice from someone you can trust? Listen to Phil Grandy.
With what's going on today in the economy, especially the stock market, it gets really complicated, but it doesn't have to be. My job is to make it simple, to get through the fog. And I think I do that, and I think I do a pretty good job of that, especially why you should be buying a stock, or why you should be in the market, or not in the market, or shorting.
Invest wisely with the knowledge of Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. You want to invest your money and grow your wealth. How do you invest intelligently? Become a Phil's Gang member and receive the training, advice, and software that will take your investing to the next level. Our team is comprised of successful investors, all with proven track records. Phil's Gang software is easy to use, painless to navigate, and tells you exactly when to buy and sell to help maximize profits. Learn about common market mistakes and how to minimize them. Phil's Gang has successfully taught tens of thousands of investors how to navigate the market with confidence. You don't need to be a seasoned investor to benefit from the Phil's Gang platform, no matter what level of investor you are. Phil's Gang strategies for investing are designed to put you on the path to success. Sign up for a 10-day free trial to see our platform in action, avoid market pitfalls, and start winning with Phil's Gang. Learn more at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Welcome back to the Phil's Gang Radio Show. Want to know more about Phil's Gang? Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264. Now, here's Phil.
Hey, welcome back to Phil's Gang. Listen to this. This is unbelievable.
As long as, crude oil doesn't spike higher and stay higher, we think the outlook for the market remains very robust, and I would agree that we can reach new highs next year.
We can reach new highs next year. What's wrong with this year? You didn't like the color? It's like ever get somebody get stuck behind somebody at a red light, and you're sitting there, and you see the red light turns green, the car doesn't move, then it turns yellow, and you're thinking, well, pick a color. Don't you like that? Then you hit yellow. Well, pick yellow. Go through the damn light. Well, it's the same thing. We're in a crash. We rallied. We already had our rally. We cannot get back to the all-time high in 2022 January. That whole rally was fake. It was all fake. It was all printing money and reduce the amount of shares you have so the stock will go up without having to have profits. And then all that inflation that was created by printing all this money to drive interest rates down, to drive the market up so CEOs could borrow money free to buy their own shares so there'd be less shares outstanding, the market fell. Back to that October 11th. And then they try to run it again. And it got hit in March with the banks. That's not a little thing. Then they said, well, let's try to run it again. So they put in that PTFP program and $2 trillion to fund the 180 banks that are going broke. And then they had a pool they put together of $15 billion so the five biggest banks could buy Microsoft and Apple to help push it up to from October to March. And then, of course, for March, they pushed it up to July of 2023, but they still couldn't get beyond that high. No matter. Think about it. They propped it up with this banking program of $2 trillion. They propped it up with a pool of $15 billion they printed so that they could take Apple and Microsoft to move the market up with, I think, two other stocks, and Nvidia was one of them. And it failed. Instead of going up and taking out the high of January 2022, it only could get up to that 459, not 477. And then it dropped again. And it rallied up to 451, dropped again, 450. So you had four lower highs. And the market's crashing right in front of us, and people don't know it. What the hell do you call from 477 to 459 to 453, 451, 431? That's not a crash? And she said, oh, it's going to go up next year. Oh, I see. You're going to like it better next year. Are you nuts? So, again, this is crazy. And they're masking the seriousness of the banks. And remember, the plunger team masked the failing of the banks. And they're still masking. Remember, they masked it with a fake stress test? And then the bank term funding program? And yet they still couldn't hold the high. We got 4 failures. Unbelievable. I mean, the lies are incredible. You see, just like I get so sick of hearing the lies from Biden. My God, everything comes out of his mouth is a lie. Man, he's telling us how great the economy is. Did you hear him the other day? He says the same thing in every speech. I mean, this guy, Biden and his White House, they believe that once you give up your integrity, the rest is a piece of cake. You know, you can say whatever you want. There's no consequence. They used to have what they call staff secretary progress. So when the president would go out with a speech, they would go through that speech with a fine-tooth comb and make sure that he wasn't lying or embellishing. They must have got rid of that person. It was supposed to avoid falsehoods and lies. That was the job of that person. But they're gone. They were canned. I mean, look how he falsely claims that Bidenomics has reduced poverty. That's a total lie. Poverty has increased. Look how he's lied. He said the other day, the same speech, manufacturing's booming. It's booming with wage increases. Really? Where's he getting that? Industrial production's at a 75-year low and has declined year over year. Now just go look at the 6 consecutive months, the longest streak of manufacturing decelerating since the pandemic. He said he's creating all these manufacturing jobs. No, they're lousy. They're anemic. 1,500 jobs per month. That's all. That's bad. You say, oh boy, wages are going up. No, they're not. The average weekly overtime hours for manufacturing has tanked big time, both in 2022 and in 2022. From 4.5 hours to 3.7 hours. He said they were going up. Overtime hours were going up. No, they're not. They're going down. He said wages were increasing more than any other president. He said, under my president, wages in manufacturing are increasing more than any other president in history. What? Real wages for manufacturers declined in 24 of the past 32 months. What are you, nuts? Look, the answer is to learn how to buy a stock properly, learn how to sell a stock short. If you know how to do both and you understand how the market works, that's what we do here at Phil's Gang, and especially the shorting. Again, we have this webinar this Saturday. Starts at noon to 3, but you don't have to make it. It's archived. You have it for 2 straight weeks if you can't make it Saturday. It's only $75. Just go to the gift shop, sign up. And once you learn how to buy a stock properly, how to understand the bond market is affecting your buy or sell situation, and you know how to sell short, you got it made. And then you're going to learn all you want to do is stay with the same 6 stocks. So Biden keeps lying. Just like you hear all the lies, all these cuts I play, they're all lies. He lied about cutting the deficit. He lied about the manufacturing, lied about the wages. Then he lies about, I cut deficits. No, he didn't cut deficits. That was a lie. What he does, he keeps going back to COVID. Well, stop going back to COVID and stop cherry picking. Start comparing to today. Go back and compare to 2019. Stop going. He always goes back to COVID so he can cherry pick the numbers. Biden says that it was the Republicans that passed the $2 trillion tax cut, but they did that to take care of the wealthy and the big corporations, and the revenues were gutted. What? Gutted? Tax revenues increased. In 2017, revenues were $230 billion. 2022, they were $334. It shows he's a liar. They better bring back the truth reader. They fired her because there's no consequences for lies through that White House. So in 2017, corporate tax revenues went up from 2017 to 2022. Went from $230 billion to $234. He lying and say they went down. No, they didn't. They went up. Check it out. And in 2023, the government kept spending And their spending is now it's going to be 24% of GDP compared to 20%. That means we're broke. What is he, nuts? These people just don't know the truth, and that's why it's important for you to get educated. That's why it's important for you to try the gang. Try it for 10 days. It's free. And for those who want to really protect yourself, there's no place to hide. Learn how to short. This Saturday would be perfect. $75. Go to my gift shop. Archive for 2 weeks.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. You want to invest your money and grow your wealth. How do you invest intelligently? Become a Phil's Gang member and receive the training, advice, and software that will take your investing to the next level. Phil's Gang software is easy to use, painless to navigate, and tells you exactly when to buy and sell to help maximize profits. Sign up for a 10-day free trial to see our platform in action. Learn more at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Want the truth when investing in the stock market? Here's how.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. Listen to my radio show every day because that's where you're going to get the truth. You're not going to get the truth listening to these dopes on Fake Business News Network. The other day, Kramer said, don't listen to the banks. They're giving you wrong information. When he told you to buy Merrill Lynch, remember? And what happened? They went broke.
Get the truth at philsgang.com.
Join my gang, philsgang.com. Get the truth. And also listen to me on my podcast on YouTube and Rumble. That's philsgang.com.
Phil Grandy has successfully taught tens of thousands of investors how to navigate the market with confidence.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. That's right, philsgang.com. Join my gang for 10 days. It's free. If anything, during that 10-day period, you're going to learn how the market really works. You're going to find information that you never had before. You're going to walk away and go, I didn't know that. So join my gang for 10 days free, philsgang.com. And you're also going to learn how to make money when the market goes down. It's kind of silly just sitting there when the market going down, hoping. Why hope when you can sell short and make money? Either way, you make money when the market goes up, you make money when the market goes down. That's the benefit of Phil's Gang. You make money.
Become a Phil's Gang member and receive the training, advice, and software that will take your investing to the next level.
philsgang.com. Sign up free for 10 days.
Want good investing advice from someone you can trust? Listen to Phil Grandy.
With what's going on today in the economy, especially in the stock market, it gets really complicated, but it doesn't have to be. My job is to make it simple, to get through the fog. And I think I do that, and I think I do a pretty good job of that, especially why you should be buying a stock, or why you should be in the market, or not in the market, or shorting.
Invest wisely with the knowledge of Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. With the philsgang.com membership, we bring investors right to the floor, into the pits with Phil's daily live webinar classroom. Get inside market guidance on investing strategies. Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Don't have time to analyze and study stocks? At philsgang.com, we recognize that there are all types of investors, and we also recognize that your time is valuable. So we offer investing programs for all individuals. We offer investing programs for long-term and short-term positions. And philsgang.com provides quick and easy to understand investing videos that only take a few minutes to watch. With the philsgang.com investing programs, you will learn technical stock charting, how to execute your trades, and most importantly, you will gain the confidence to know when to get out of a stock and take profits. Sign up at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or give them a call, 877-600-GANG.
You're not alone. 80% of those in the stock market, just like you, lose money. Hi, I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. Why do they lose? Because they don't know how to short stocks in down market. That will change once you use my patent Pro 2 color-coded chart. It works. The technology works. And it not only gives you an edge on the upside, but Pro 2 will put a smile on your face on the downside. That's right. Check it out. Free 10-day trial at philsgang.com.
Welcome back. Are you ready to make profits in the stock market? Why not check out philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264. Now, here's Phil.
And welcome back to Phil's Gang. Okay, so oil. Stop going in and chasing oil right now. You're going to get hurt. Oil's volatile right now. You had to buy oil like we did. We bought oil in June and July when oil dropped 35%. When crude oil dropped 35% from, I think, $125 to $65. And I gave an alert to my members. I said, when oil drops 35%, we're going to buy it because she's going to rally. Oil stocks, not the oil. And we bought oil stocks June and July, and we're up about 35%. But now people are jumping in oil now. No, it's too late. The easy money's already been made. You want to get the low-hanging fruit. This are the things you're going to learn from us at the webinar. Now, if you're going to buy oil, you've got to wait now. The USO, use that as an oil fund. USO, watch that. It's a 75.69. If it makes a new high, it gets a new yearly high around $82, then you can buy. But don't buy now. You missed it, okay? You missed it. And now you're going to get caught in all this volatility. You're going to get caught in this volatility. Also, listen to this. Listen to this.
It's very hard to see how you can have a very brutal sell-off in the market.
How could you say that? It's hard to see you're going to have a sell-off in the market. We are selling off. We've been selling off since January 2022. 477, then we dropped to 459, then we dropped to 453, 451, 431, we're at 424. That's a sell-off. We're selling off, but nobody wants to say what it is. It's a crash. But remember, it's not like all the other crashes because they're continue to artificially come in with their plunger team, and what they do is they interfere into the free market. But that's okay. That's okay. Let them prop it up, do all the games they play. Before the old days, boom, just go down. But no more. Boom, that you can have a market down 500 points, and at 2 minutes before the close, it's only down 60 points. Ever notice that? It's the plunger team. But that's okay, because nobody's bigger than the market. This market is already in a crash. The banks are going to wipe this market out. The banks are in deep trouble, but they're not going to tell you the truth. They're not going to tell you the truth about the banks. And listen to this.
Here's the thing that no one's really noticed, but the main bond investment, TLT, right? It's a 20-year bond. It's in a bear market right now. That's longer than the bear market for stocks after the tech bubble crashed. Wow. It's been stealthy. No one's even paying attention.
Oh, really? Well, how about me? I've told my members about TLT. Here's what's going on. It doesn't explain it very well. TLT, all TLT is, you put it up on your chart. I got up here if you're following me on YouTube or Rumble or Apple or Instagram, you can see it. If I bring it back all the way and go all the way back to December 2021, you see TLT going down. What's that represent? Well, it represents when you're buying, when you see yields going up, bond yields going up, your bond, the value of your bond's going down. The value of your bond's going down. Now, when your yields are going up, you also have your dollar goes up. So yield up, dollar up, and of course the value of your bond's going down, and it's painful. But now what's happening is finally we're starting to see where the bond yields are pulling back. They're starting to pull back. Okay, we're starting to see that now. They're starting to drop back because everybody's saying, well, he's not going to raise rates anymore because now we have the war. And the war, as long as there's a war going on, they're not going to raise rates. So that gives you an opportunity to buy TLT. You buy it. It goes the opposite way because everybody who's been shorting TLT since December, okay, of December 2021, they got to start buying it back. So we're going to watch it, and my gang members are watching it together for the next couple of weeks, see what happens. Maybe there's a big short covering. I don't know, but the chart will tell us, because my chart will turn from red to green, which your chart won't do. Because my chart, we designed our own chart, so it follows the money. So that's what you should be looking at. There's an opportunity there. But there's also another opportunity. If TLT goes up, our gold stocks are going to go up. Our gold stocks are going to go up. That's another opportunity. But again, Friday's coming, and what they're going to do is the banks. They're going to try to rig the banks to go up. They're going to try to get the banks to go up, because remember, the banks push the S&P up, and the S&P put your stocks up. But the banks are in deep, deep trouble. Worse now than in 2008. They just learned how to support and prop them up better than they did under Bush and then Obama in 2008, 2009. Now they perfected it. So that's why it takes a long time for the market to crash. But, it's going to crash, no question about it, because it's in the crash, because that's what all these lower highs are. Unless somebody can explain to me, if a stock's going down, it's a year and 10 months, and we still haven't gotten back to that 2022 high. That tells me with 4 lower highs, they can't get up. Every time they try to go up, they fail. Every time they try to get back to 477 in 2022, they got up to 459, failed. Then they tried it again, couldn't get to 459, they only could get to 453, failed. Tried again, they couldn't get to 453, it failed, 451. They couldn't get back to 451, they only could get back to 431. That's a hell of a long way from 477. That's not a crash. What the hell is wrong with you? Of course it's a crash, but they're never going to admit it. And that's why you got to learn how to sell short. There's no place to hide. Everyone thinks, I'm going to run by. That's what people are doing now. They're all running by bonds now because they're afraid. Fear's coming in. Just watch the VIX. Fear's coming, so they all go buy bonds. That's a bad move, man. Bad move. So you're better off, again, instead of buying these bonds, okay, people, I'd rather go and buy TLT. And also, as long as my dollar keeps going down, as long as the yields go down, my dollar goes down, that means my gold's going to go up, and I'll make money on gold, and I'll make money on oil. But oil, you got to be very careful. I mean, this isn't costing you anything. Just watch oil on, just use what I use and my gang use, USO. Okay, that is the United States Commodities Funds, United States Oil Fund, okay? All right, that's what it is. That's what we follow right there. And if that can make a new high, then I'm in, okay? But again, it's going to be very tough for that to make a new high, okay? It maybe will, maybe with the war and everything else, it will. I still think we can get to, I shouldn't say that, I still think we're going to hit $120, $125 a barrel, and then it will fail. But at the same time, the opportunity right now is past. You should have bought all these oils back in June and July like we did. So right now you're in no man's land, okay? As far as the tech stocks go, stop wasting your time. Everybody keeps going after Apple, Microsoft. You got to understand the yields are still high. The yields are still too high. And yields high is really bad for tech stocks. Now, yields are usually good for banks, and they're going to tell you that, trying to push the banks up. But guess what? It's not good for banks anymore. Because when the interest rates go up, they keep losing money. They've lost $650 billion, which they're not telling you. That's right, their portfolio value dropped $650 billion. It was the 3 banks that dropped first, remember? It was $50 billion. Silicon Valley, First Republic, and Signature. They said, that's it, it's over, don't worry about it. They didn't want to tell you about the 180 other banks, did they? Oh, no. Oh, they did a stress test to calm you down. And 2 minutes later, after they did a stress test, they put the Bank Term Funding Program in. Put $2 trillion in and make sure they don't drop. And that's where we are today. You know, there's no better thing than trading stocks. It's the greatest thing in the world. Why? Unlike trying to sell a house or something, where you got to wait for. I mean, it's always liquid. You always can push that little mouse and you're in or you're out. You can get your money back in a split second. The reason 85% of people lose money in the market, because they refuse to learn how to sell short, and they refuse to stay all year with just 6 stocks. Join my gang. We'll show you how to do it. Don't forget my webinar, okay, this Saturday. Go to my gift shop right now and you can sign up for it. See you in the truck. I think we have about 10 spots.
You have been listening to Phil's Gang with your host, Phil Grandy, on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Remember to visit Phil's website at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or call the office, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600.